Everything shall go. First of all, we not plan for the roadmap. We not sing no plan for the roadmap. We not beg no one for the roadmap. Everybody show me a hand for the roadmap. Yo, well now the thing starts. Hey, right now the thing starts. Time to show them now who is in charge. Marshall is the real boss. Everybody jump to the left, 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 to the left. Everybody jump to the right, 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 to the right. Now everybody bounce right there, right there, right there. I am the monk, I am the king. Most of all,
save big on appliances this month at Massey Stores Home and Mega with West Point BOGO deals. That's right. Buy one, get one 50% off on all West Point appliances. Or get 10% off plus bonus points when you purchase any one West Point appliance. That's not all. Buy a new recliner set and get 50% off the West Point 50-inch TV. Terms and conditions apply. See you in store at Massey Stores Home and Mega to shop this limited time offer.
How we live?
Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
What you feeling?
Hybrid life, we're living on the hybrid life.
End of one time we know watch phone bill. That's with the contract is a sure thing. How with the new floor plan name? Hybrid. If you don't know about it, then they better slide in. How we live?
Hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
What you feeling?
Hybrid life, we're living on the hybrid life.
Jump in at the
hybrid life, living on the hybrid life.
What you feeling?
Hybrid life, we're living on the hybrid life.
With Flow's new hybrid plan, postpaid and prepaid come together as one with no overages, no contract, no deposit, and no catch.
Hybrid.
Bundle up now and get 15 gigabytes of data and unlimited Flow call for only $57.50 per month, plus a discounted smartphone.
You see the new phone plan that Flow made? You could turn postpaid to prepaid.
You asked for more live and relevant talk shows, and we heard you. 88.5 Soufriere FM presents House Guest, a brand new fresh fortnightly feature airing on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. House Guest will showcase a cadre of professionals from doctors and entrepreneurs to the next door friendly neighbor. So tune in as we network the community with a platform for open, frank, and informative discussion. Only on Soufriere FM, your community radio station.
Soufriere FM is now 6 minutes after the hour of 11 a.m. in Soufriere, St. Lucia, and the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning to all those of you tuning in to your number one station of choice, Soufriere FM. We commence our house guests for today, the 1st of March, 2023, with no other than the chairman of the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, Mr. Ernest Sam Augier. Good morning to you, sir, and let me officially welcome you. Happy 2023 to you.
Thanks very much, Cabrina, and I do accept the welcome heartfully, and I want to wish everybody, Soufriere, our staff, members, and the general public, a happy, warm, healthy, wealthy 2023.
Thank you so much for gracing us here with your presence. I know you have a tight schedule. First and foremost, we believe that where education is right now, it is on a decline, especially when children get to sit the various exams. They tend to not give it their best. And with that, the foundation actually launched an initiative along with the Soufriere Primary School, the after-school program. I know you're delighted where education stands, so please tell us more about this initiative.
Yes, thanks much. As you know, the way out of underdevelopment and poverty is really education. And what we have done at the Soufriere Foundation is attempted to make education a priority for us. And we are going to spend some of our resources, energies, in ensuring that we do contribute in a significant way to the education program in Soufriere. We've been monitoring the performance of our Soufriere schools, and sad to say, it has not been encouraging. The performance from bottom to the top, it's not been encouraging. And we thought, look, what can we as a foundation do? Use some of our resources, our energies, use the expertise around us to see how best we can help alleviate the situation and help improve the standards and the ratings of our schools in Soufriere. So together with the district rep, we sat down and we engaged the DEO in Soufriere of District 8, and we said, look, how can we assist you in seeing that we take Soufriere? We start looking at taking the levels of performance to something which is a little more reasonable, a little more exciting, a little more respectful. And we decided, look, why don't we start with the younger ones? This is where it all starts. And so we thought the best way to start is to start an after-school programs for the younger ones who are really deprived of that little extra thing which enabled them to move to the next stage. And so together with the DEO, we sat and we put a program where we have taken on 72 students, I think, from District 8, covering all the schools in Soufriere, Fosse-Jacques, Etangs, Bouton, and Soufriere, and engage them into an after-school program. So the foundation really would be spending together in the DR office. We'll be spending some of the resources in terms of busing the students after school to the primary school where they will meet their tutors and facilitators. Then they will have that 2.5-hour program on afternoons. We will serve them some light meals to make sure that they are properly fed and in tuned. And at the end of it, we also bus them back to the location. So they are well taken care of in terms of both, hopefully, the educational aspect of it, transportation, and the health, the nutrition.
Thank you so much for that. I know it basically speaks to District 8. A few persons have actually asked, can I, given the fact that I'm a resident of Choiseul, partake?
This is really a pilot program for us. And in these pilot programs, what you want to do, you want to do a constant assessment of the program. You want to find out how relevant it is. You want to find out how effective it is. And so after a number of months, maybe after the first or second term in running the program, we'll sit back and evaluate the program, decide whether it's effective, whether it's meeting its goals. We'll, together with the DEO and the teachers and the parents, we'll find out, look, is it something that ought to be continued, expanded? And if the results are so that we should look at expanding it because there are results which are encouraging, we can consider expanding out of the Soufriere range.
Thank you so much for that. Last month, actually, the island celebrated its 44th independence anniversary, with the Soufriere Foundation actually hosting a flag raising ceremony along with a lovely display of fireworks. As the chairman, could you speak to this exercise?
Yes, what we did was we decided in a very meaningful way to celebrate our independence. And it was along a number of fronts. One, we thought there was an educational aspect of it because we did not believe in just the fanfare, around a significant opportunity and engagement like independence, just having drinks and party and stuff like that. And so we had a series of engagements with the schools. We endeavored to have 1 or 2 lectures relating the whole question of what does independence mean to us? How have we moved from the colonialism and moved to that stage where we are, where we claim that we are independent? And so we structured a program over 10 days where we looked at the cultural aspect. We infuse cultural aspects, we infuse educational aspects, literary aspects with the schools in particular, and give them a true appreciation of the meaning of independence. And it culminated on the night before independence, the 21st, with a grand finale and party and concert, and with bands and music and things of that nature. And I was happy to know that Soufriere people did for once, after we got so much flack for not having fireworks on New Year's Day, we doubled up the presentation in terms of what our fireworks display. I think from my understanding, they would normally have about 3 minutes of fireworks. Traditionally, we give them 7 minutes, and the response was quite encouraging. People did enjoy it, they loved it, and so yes, as long as we have the resources, you will see a continuation.
I can definitely say it was awesome. But since even up to now, the sentiments are still being echoed. Kudos to all who enabled such an execution as well. Last evening, for those persons who were not aware, so a consultation at the Soufriere Primary School, there were a lot of plans, and sometimes again, Mr. Augier, we hear a lot of the talking, but who actually walks the walk? So plans are here to develop our touristic town. Last night saw the first in a series of consultations. You were here as well firsthand, so share with our audience.
Soufriere is renowned to be the tourism capital of this country, and for all good reasons. We have the national assets, we have the beauty, we have just almost what it takes to encourage somebody to visit that part of our rock. And so we in our assessment of tourism and its impact on Soufriere in particular, we are the observation from a while back that Soufriere has not benefited in as much as it can from the assets we possess. There is so much more that can be done with the assets we have, the natural beauty, the assets we have, the sulfur springs, the docks, the falls, the trails, all of that. These are world-class assets. And we are just scratching the surface in terms of our entitlement to it, what we can get out of it, how we can benefit. And so we made an assessment and decided, look, what are the things we need to develop to enhance the tourism product, to expand the tourism product in Soufriere? And happily, we were approached by a group called GPH, Global Port Holdings, and what they do really is assist in the development of ports. Now, Port Soufriere of late has become a hub and a very serious hub in terms of tourism activity. If you go by the ports in Soufriere, you'll see the congestion. You'll see it's a total mess because we don't have the facilities to effectively handle the volume of tourist traffic that comes into Soufriere. And so obviously that aspect of our product deserves enhancement. That aspect of our product deserves development. And so we engaged GPA, and we've been speaking with them as to how can we take the Soufriere waterfront, develop it further into a world-class product to ensure that we give the visitor the experience of his life, an experience that is enticing, encouraging, that when he comes in, wow, we want to create that wow effect about tourism in Soufriere. And so GPH, together with us and our expertise, we are looking at how can we take from Barons Drive way down to the police station. How can we take that port, turn it into a port which can accommodate even bigger vessels? I don't know if you would have observed that over the past month or two, we've seen a growth in visitor traffic, especially yachties and stuff like that. I was happy to learn that SMMA is now asking for the installation of more buoys, you call it buoys, to accommodate the yachts, because they've now seen an influx, they've now seen a growth. So that speaks to the potential that asset has. And so GPH together with us, we're looking at taking the whole waterfront from Barons Drive, enhancing it, making it more comfortable, not just for the yachties, but also for our boat boys, because they have a little difficulty in anchoring the boats and stuff like that. And so the project, hopefully, in its final design, will take care of all of these aspects of ensuring that our boat boys from Barons Drive coming way down have proper facilities to anchor, to save, and to tender the boats. The security aspect of it is critical, because we had an issue where we've been having some break-ins of tourists of the yachties. That the GPH proposal which we are envisaging will take care of that aspect of it. There'll be a total security profile to it that would ensure that the yachts are safe, our boat boys are safe, the community of Bar and Drive is safe, and it will be enhanced in such a way that it will not displace nobody. It will just enhance the whole waterfront and make the experience a lot more pleasing to everybody who visits our shores.
Thank you so much for that. It is now 90 minutes after the hour of 11 a.m. in Soufriere St. Lucia and the Eastern Caribbean. If you are joining us, good morning once again to you. Welcome inside our house guest edition. With me, Mr. Ernest Augier, chairman of SRDF. From a managerial standpoint, could you speak to us about your developmental plans as it relates to the Sulphur Springs Park, the beach park, and the few sites that we are managing?
Okay, great. Thanks for that. As I mentioned earlier, the assets we have are world-class assets. There's no other sulfur springs in the world. And, when I look at the potential this place has, one has to say, oh, look, man, that's all we do. That's all we can get out of Sulphur Springs when we can. I mean, we get 100, 200 persons a week in there, and they pay a nominal fee. You think of any other part of the world where you have stars coming for mud bath and post it on their Instagram pages, their Facebook pages, on TikTok, all over the place. And I'm talking of stars of international repute, our locals, our people, and it has that therapeutic value, the springs. And I'm saying, but look, is that all we can do? Get $5 out of it from these people who come and they enjoy the ambience, they enjoy the atmosphere, they claim, look, they've had the wonder of their life. When people like Oprah Winfrey says, look, man, this place is the seventh wonder of this world, and we yet to capitalize on that kind of promotion, we're really just scratching the surface. And so it is our intention to look at all these assets, look at the product we have, the product, super product, and how we can take it to a different level. And trust me, with proper planning, with proper engagement, with consultation with the people, with the people's involvement and planning, and with the resources. I must tell you, some of the resources we may not be able to garner it locally, and so we may have to partner with other persons or the resources. If it is done properly, it is done with the people central to it, it is done in a holistic manner, and that product is taken, trust me, you will see a Sulphur Springs which will make Soufriere just way beyond anything, beyond the imagination. There is a lot of potential, a lot of potential in all the assets we have. Soufriere can be transformed into a place you would not imagine. We are yet to see the imagination. We are yet to see the involved. We are yet to see what can be done with that town of Soufriere. It can go places. Trust me, it can go places.
Well said. Also, I do not want to let the cat out of the bag. We were excited. We were hearing the buzz that after much hiatus that Soufriere again will have its jazz festival. I know it's in the planning stages. Maybe could you tell us more about it? And again, I do not want to let the cat out.
Yes, there is going to be jazz in Soufriere this year. We have formed a committee headed by Rock Clesse. They've been involved in that thing, so they have the expertise, and we've brought in a number of persons who, under the jurisdiction and under the auspices of the foundation, are putting together a program for jazz. We are in negotiations as of now with artists that will blow your mind.
Such as?
I'm sorry, I can't. The reason I can't say now because it has not been formed and finalized. There's discussion. It looks promising. And we are hoping that if we can sign off on these contracts this week, by next week I can tell you what the lineup is. But trust me, when you hear the lineup, if it all goes through in terms of the lineup we aiming at and we discussing it, you're going to have a jazz of a lifetime in Soufriere. On the 7th of May, at the our mini stadium.
Thank you for that. Curiosity awakens me. Yes, we have all those events happening, unfolding nicely, but we need to consider in terms of the spate of gun violence and crime, sometimes not just on the island, but even in our community as well. What deterrents are there? What can you say? What can be implemented? Let me hear a few of your ideas.
Guys, put down the guns, put down the knives, put down the cutlasses, put down the weapons. Consultation, dialogue, love for one another is really the answer to all. Years ago, we used to settle our difference with the fist. It, whereas we don't condone it either, but it's a more palatable way of settling. When you take somebody's life, what you do, you sniff a whole family of their sustenance. You take a whole family, sniff a whole family of that capacity. A child grows without a father. A child grows without a mother. A child grows not his father or mother being there to see him finish secondary school, get married, have kids. You understand? And for what? I ask myself the question, all that gun violence, for what? All that killings, for what? And it is so strange to hear what we take people's lives for. I mean, I will not mention names, but we know of who are some of the people who are deeply involved in the gang, in the drug trade, as one of the things which promotes the gun violence. Where all of them, they all 6 feet below, not there to enjoy what they would have perpetrated or encouraged to perpetrate. You know, it is just so sad, and that is why, as part of our mandate of the foundation, we are embarking on a serious program of consultation. We have engaged a lot of the young people in Barnes Drive. We're going to, and trust me, we must not believe that violence, guns, is restricted to all these areas. In the inner cities too, we will be tackling every aspect of the society, every nook and cranny, in attempting to bring down the rate of killings, the rate of violence, the rate of destruction and stuff like that. And so it'll be a whole, it'll be a program that encourages that dialogues, that consults with every aspect of the society, religious, sporting, just name it, and we'll engage all these people as part of our mandate to see how best we can assist in making persons recognize the fact that violence is not the answer. The guns is not the answer. We can find better ways and means of settling our problem. One may say unemployment is a cause of it. Yes, fair enough. We appreciate that. We appreciate the fact that, but you unemployed, you commit a crime. Where do you land? You land at bodily. That doesn't help the unemployment problem. It doesn't help yours. I mean, it's true we have to make a greater effort. We ought to. Government, the foundation, the business people have to help. And one of the things we want to do is to approach all the business places in this country and say, look, can you take 2 guys, 1 lady or 1 guy, and give them employment as a contribution to your social consciousness? And when we did a survey and we figure, well, let me see, there are about 32 business places we can approach. If each business place were to take 2 persons as a start and bring them into the workforce, that's 62 persons we may be taken off the roads. We may be alleviating their standard of living. We may be helping them out of a situation. So it's a holistic thing that, and the laws, but laws don't really solve the problem, because if they don't solve the problem, if they were solving the problem, there would be no violence now. There would be no killings now because the laws are there, yet people still commit. So you have to speak to people's consciousness. You have to speak to their awareness of situation. You have to make them recognize, man, you kill somebody. Tomorrow somebody kills you. What happened to your kids? What happened to your family? that kind of thing. So we are hoping that with the interventions we will embark on, we can assist it in alleviating the crime situation in this country.
And I think it's really sad where a lot of young persons are being, targets of such. Also, Mr. Augier, you made mention of unemployment most of the times. It may as well be one of, or the main factor as well to why persons turn to, that heinous incident in terms of shooting or killing somebody, or even to that extent where persons were gang, there were a lot of gang wars which continue to exist as well, which is a terrible thing. And persons do say your values on that in terms of your home, broken home, society failed them and government failed them and stuff to. So it may stem the problem, having them being destabilized and those different things as well, which is sad. And I think we should maybe bring back, is it the tradition where let's be our neighbor's keeper? We've lost such a culture and value.
That is, you're very right. The solution is not easy. I can guarantee that. It is not easy. It's endemic. It's been there. It is, and it is getting worse day by day. I see the whole question of gang formation almost on a very regular basis in Soufriere. And when you look at the activities within the gang, it is nothing that one should be proud of. Okay? But however, what do we do? Are we going to just say, okay, leave them alone? And no, this is where the intervention comes in. I think we can intervene, and as bad as we think, there is somebody who will listen to you, There is somebody who will listen to somebody. There is somebody who will have an impact on somebody's life and, help them see a way. So you're very right. I mean, we cannot give up the fight. We can't give up. And it may not even be a strong arm approach to solving the problem. It may not even be there, as you quite rightly mentioned.
But I think a lot of the times not giving up might be maybe one of the solutions, but also we have limited resources. I mean, the police force, they exhaust, especially for those incidents and guns and whatever it is, manpower and all those different things as well. So I think those relevant authorities should maybe join forces and try as best as possible. The little would go a long way in terms of curbing, the situation, especially given what we stand for. St. Lucia has captured many awards, honeymoon best destination, and recently even Jade Mountain captured,
And the foundation captured second place.
And with that, we can tell us about that as well, also with the city.
Yes, the Caribbean Tourism Association recognized the Soufriere Foundation and gave us second place award in terms of tourism development and community development in tourism in the Caribbean, not just St. Lucia, in the Caribbean. We got a second place to Trinidad and Tobago. And the distance between Trinidad and Tobago and us in terms of points was very, very marginal, very small. So it means that we onto something good. And trust me, with the programs we have in place, as long as they come to fruition, I can see us heading for higher heights. I can see us heading for higher heights in the years to come. I suspect our time is almost up. Just to close, let me say that Soufriere is a divided society. Sad to say, we divided along too many lines. I want to see a coming together of the forces in Soufriere. I would say this is too beautiful a society, too beautiful a place with too much natural resource, too much natural attributes, beauty, and everything for us to allow these to be squandered. Everybody, let me tell you, you observe what happens on a Sunday. People gravitate towards Soufriere. They gravitate, and I see on a Sunday now, it's unbelievable what happens at our waterfront by the beach park. People look forward to coming to Soufriere. And when we told people that Soufriere starts back jazz, oh God, that just blew up. But for some reason, we need to bring all the parties together. We are too divided. We're too polarized in Soufriere. We can do much better than that. We can take this community and make it a model community if we come together. Close down these barriers, close down the divisiveness. Let us come together and decide, look, what is better for us? What is better for Soufriere? The division will not help us. It'll just further annihilate us and make us the laughing stock. With such potential, There are many parts of this country who wish they had a Soufriere. I can tell you that. They wish they had a Soufriere. So if we have it, let's make it work. Let's make it work. And my resolution, you call it, for Soufriere is that in 2023, we break down the divide. We break down the religious divide. We break down the political divide. We break down the drug divide. We break down all these things which segregate us, which tear us apart, and come together as a people to take this town of ours and make it a model for the development of this country.
Is that your final comment, sir?
My final comment is that I wish I want to thank my staff at the Soufriere Foundation. We have traveled some rough roads in the past year. We've overcome a lot of difficulties. We've made a lot of strides. And given God's grace, health, strength, I think I have a very good board that's well dedicated to ensuring that we turn this place around. I think our staff, they have their little challenges. I know you have your challenges here. You know, with God's grace and resources, we can give you the resources you require to turn 88.5, which is playing a significant role in the transformation of Soufriere. 88.5. People, please use 88.5. Come into us, discuss it with us. Let us know. Promote us, support with your ads. We need it for that transformation. So I want to thank the 88.5 staff. I want to thank the whole staff of the SRDF, Peter, Augier, the docs, and I'll tell you something. When I look at what we have done over the last year in terms of contribution to Soufriere, $3 million+ of the foundation's money went into Soufriere last year. That is significant. You may not see it because we're not the kind of persons to blow our tops and say, but the number of persons who come for assistance, health, school, funeral, books, all different little things. So we do quite a bit in terms of assisting the society. So pray to God that we survive. Pray to God that there are no natural disasters coming our way this year, that we're able to have a year full of graces and good weather and stuff like that. And I want to thank the people of Soufriere for the support they have given us at the foundation. Please feel free. We're not afraid of your criticisms. We're not afraid of your suggestions. We're open to it. We know we're not perfect. We are all human beings, and we always will be happy to hear how best we can take the foundation to a different level. I thank you.
And also, living on a spiritual note, we need to know that we cannot do anything not through Christ that strengthens us. And today, if I'm correct, signifies Ash Wednesday.
It is the first, is it?
Because I saw you dressed for the occasion.
No, you're right. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High. It is He who sees us through, and He will continue. With His blessings, we will make it. I'm almost certain that. He is the Most High, HIM, His Imperial Majesty.
Give Him thanks.
Thanks.
On that note, this is where we say thank you so much to all those of you who tuned in. Take the time out to listen to our first edition of House Guest, 1st of March, 2023. I must say a big thank you to our chairman, Mrs. Ernest Augier, again, for gracing us here with his presence. Thank you so much. This has been House Guest. We're out.